All right, shall we talk about some valuable keys?
This was an interesting section on Key Collector.
Dude, I love when I get Ryan excited about collectible books because, Ryan, you have a very particular taste. If it's not Green Lantern or something you're actively hunting or excited about reading, it impresses you for a fun reason, something that I think a lot of other members can relate to because it's past the, oh, it's just scarce. It's past the, oh, it's the hot book at the time. No, it's like something about this collectible perked your ears.
First appearance of like Jimmy the Turtle Man. It's like, I don't care. Like, oh, that's cool, whatever.
It happens.
But this is like a different subset of like interesting reasons to be on the lookout for certain books. Like last time we got on the mic, we talked about like Superboy getting spanked. You know, weird kind of comics. I do like that one. That one stuck in my head.
It's how it goes, brother. It's how it goes.
And we're kind of back with a different category.
All right. Over on the best comic app to learn about funny books, to keep up with the rapidly moving marketplace. It's called Key Collector Comics. You know what it is. Shout out Nick Colonese, the mastermind behind the timeline, keeping all the variants damn in check. Literally. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this app, you download it, use code TOM101. You're going to get a free 2-week subscription and get categories like this one unlocked. This type of information you used to have to just know. You have to be part of forums. To go on CGC boards, you know. Be part of communities on Facebook.
Pre-internet, I don't even know how you would know this stuff.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
trial and error.
This is the kind of stuff that people don't even like to talk about because you know what? The information will get out there and I won't be able to find it. But you know what? The internet's a thing now and Key Collector is here to stay. So now it's open to everyone. But this is one of those categories that if you actively practice knowing these books, you will find or uncover a book that's worth more than what you paid. And you may have some major comeuppance, and you can upgrade whatever books you have and get books that you never thought you'd dream of. Because that's how a lot of members do it in this community. They do the grind, let the hobby pay for itself.
It's your boy Gem Mint.
That's what Gem always says. So this right here is a category about valuable errors. Yes. What kind of errors happen in comic books, Ryan? Because there's all kinds.
Printing errors are the ones that come to mind.
Right.
Like miscolorings or just covers that aren't even printed the right way.
Yeah,
or interiors that are totally screwed up.
And what happens, you know, at printing presses? I mean, they don't know. Like, printing presses, you're lucky if you have a Marvel or DC fan working there. Like, this is just a printing house. They're there to get the job done. They don't know the key significance of a book.
That color's supposed to be blue. Stop everything and switch it up. Like, they, you know, the most of the time I feel like they send it out and then they catch it on the back end.
Yeah, or sometimes they don't. And it creates these, like, micro subcategories of collectibles to hunt for, right? Sometimes they're scarce, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's half the run, sometimes it's a third of the run. Well, these are 5 books you gotta know because they're valuable to some degree. You'll be surprised with some of these prices. And the more you know, the more savage. I've said savage a few times on the mic today. I just wanted to reiterate how savage it is.
It's on your mind because it's on this image right here.
Yeah, and I want to read some Conan for some reason. It's probably that Federici art.
Just random detour. I read my first Conan the other day. I just put a whole batch of like weird Conan books into the mail call, and one of them caught my eye. I actually sat there and read a comic on the clock.
That's how we do it, man.
It was pretty cool. I had a good experience with my first Conan book.
All right, well, that's how it goes. We have valuable keys that you got to know because it'll make you dangerous on the hunt. If savage isn't the word you want to pick. Look at this. Kazar or Kazar? I don't even know. Comic Fam, you tell me.
Tell us in the chat because I'm wondering too.
I go back and forth so much.
Neither one sounds right.
I question myself.
That doesn't sound right. But Kazar sounds like an alien, like Quasar.
Well, we have Kazar the Savage. Oh my gosh, another Savage drop. Issue number 12. This came out in March 1982, and it has an error. What kind of error? This is a weird one. You only know if you open it up. Look at this.
Okay. I was trying to look on the cover to see it. Oh, goodness.
You see this bottom right here, bottom left? This one page?
The red panel?
The red panel. It's like a demon.
Is it supposed to look like that?
Nope. Whoopsies. Yeah, wasn't supposed to happen, and this is the information that we have on it. It's believed that 20% of the run has this error. So that means that it started in the print run, and then they fixed it, and then didn't do anything about it, and they just let it out. Or maybe they fixed it, didn't realize it was an issue, and those got out.
It looks cool. I wouldn't have caught that, and I feel like that's what it's supposed to look like.
$12 high average sales because people don't know about it. This is the type of book that if you get a high grade, you may find this in a literal quarter bin because who's buying Kazar 12 right now? Exactly. So the biggest comeuppance that you can have on a book that you're hunting for is something that you are more likely to find specifically in high grade that you can then fix/grade and flip, wait for the day that something happens to it, or hey, you uncovered an error and now you have that added layer of value that's just enough for you to make a profit off the book, or making competitive on a trade. You never know.
I just think they're cool to know.
You
Like,
gotta know
it's just
them, man.
interesting to me.
Well, look at this one, man. You've seen this book multiple times. We're talking about Rogue. This is like, first solo series, which is a good reason to own it in itself. But this comic is a $10, $15 book. I think it hit heights of 20 for a near mint, but they printed this to all hell.
I was gonna say, several of the books we're about to go over, I've put the normal versions into the Mystery Mail Call frequently over the years.
1995, classic book. It's one of those easy mail call books. It's like, it's a $10, $15 book all day. It's hit higher than that too.
And
in
Rogue's
high grade.
awesome. Even for me, I don't even like X-Men, but Rogue's cool.
It's good. X-Men Spec that's affordable because there's very few of that right now. And what's the error on this one?
Is the title, right? Isn't this a foil title?
Yep. And if you see this picture, you can see that there's a little bit of a drop shadow. That is not intentional. That whole Rogue is foil. That trade dress is foil, but the foil was off just a bit.
So the white underneath the letters it's all supposed to just be the foil, right?
Exactly.
But they misaligned it so you can it looks kind of like a 3D effect.
That's right.
Which I think is cool. I think it looks a little cooler.
$120 high average sales on this book. And this is one of those weird ones that don't come up very often, that if you were to tell me that one sold for $400, I wouldn't be surprised. High average of 120 could be like a VF near mint book that someone's like, screw it, I'll get it because I want the error that bad. But a 9.8, a 9.6, even a 9.4 wouldn't surprise me that it shoots higher above that. And again, it's because of the foil. You got to know the foil.
It doesn't even look like an error.
It doesn't. It actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's a drop shadow type of deal.
I've said that about a lot of the books we're about to go over. Like, I think it just looks cool.
Okay, here we go. Look at this one right here. This is a Doctor Strange cover, Secret Defenders #1 from 1993. This is a pretty common book. And take a look at this. This is what the standard cover looks like. Ryan, you've seen this book, man.
Definitely put this in the mail call.
Yeah, we've got it's classic Strange. And
right.
It's a cool hologram cover. You got Wolverine on the front. But here's the thing. There are copies that exist that look like this. And what we're looking at is the same cover, but instead of it being red, it's black.
I think that looks cooler.
I
Especially
do
in the
too.
trade dress, the title in black.
And check this out. Two copies known to exist. One at 9.8, one at 9.6. The high average that is suggested on Key Collector for a raw high-grade copy is $500, which means it could hit the moon if something like this comes up. I would bet that there are more copies of this that exist that people just don't realize are a thing. And it's such a common book that you gotta know that if you see this book, that something's off about it. And that's what we're trying to train you here with, Comic Fam. The more you see these types of books, and we may talk about them again, it's because we're trying to drill it in that you need to be able to go through a long box quickly and go, yeah, okay, cool.
Because it'd be one thing if they accidentally spelled it the Secret Defendors or something. They got a letter wrong.
And then they reprinted it or something like that.
That's an error. But like this, you could look at it and maybe this is how it's supposed to look.
There you go. All right, look at this one here. We have a copy of a book that's not in the thing. Oh my goodness, bear with me. I'm gonna pull it up because it's too good to see.
Spotlight?
No, I was gonna talk about Avengers and then ASM. So let me grab the Avengers book.
Yeah, I did like the Avengers
because
one.
it's too good to pass up. But take a look at this here. It's Avengers. I think it's 360. Yeah. Let's see if I can just whip it on over.
Whip it out, Tom.
Here we go. All right, look at this one here. Oh, let's not play that though. I'm gonna bring it on.
So many pop-ups on this site.
I know, right? It's just like the Marvel site, but you know how they do. You know how they do, Comic Fam. Okay, so we're talking about error comic books, and this one is too good to pass up, so I'm taking the time to stall on the mic because it is an Avengers cover that got foil treatment that everyone has seen before. So take a look at this cover. I'm pulling it up right here on the Marvel website. So this right here is Avengers issue number 360. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. Boom. So Avengers 360. This right here is just a cool Vision cover, and it's entirely foil. You've seen this before, right?
Another mail call book I've put out. It's like a bronze coppery foil, entirely foil cover.
So
very 90s.
93, this came out. There is an edition here that is, instead of it having the copper treatment, it actually didn't get it, and it's just silver. It's all silver. You can pick it out from 100 books and spot it like it's like the card is backwards on the deck. Like it's so clear as day that you can see this. If you have a silver copy of this book, it means that it didn't get the foil treatment correctly, the added copper treatment rather. And there's only been one sale that's happened in the last year, and it hit $1,000. Yes. This is why you need to know your random error print books. And we're going to leave you with one great book to spec on. Rumors for such a long time that we're going to see Black Cat on the screen eventually. Anya Taylor-Joy rumors, anyone? You know that would get my fan casting pick. I think she's amazing. But we do have the first appearance of Black Cat to talk about. This is another weird one that people, like a lot of members know. In the chat, they're going to be like, yeah, we know about this error. But here's the thing. Amazing Spider-Man 194. Sometimes errors happen on important books, key books. This is the first appearance of Black Cat. 1979. High average sale for this book is super tough to project. So let's just give you the non-error 9.8 last high sale. It hit $4,808. So consider this. You're looking at this cover and it looks normal. Very normal. But since this book was inputted on Key Collector, and this has had updates in the last 2 months because of Spec. So these numbers are pretty damn close, if not off by maybe 1 or 2, right? Out of the 465 listed copies of Amazing Spider-Man 194, sold and unsold, when you combine all of the issues that have been uploaded and didn't sell and sold on eBay, out of the 465 copies of this key book, a lonely 3 copies in an assortment of grades that were all rather low had this error print. This error is under 1% of the run if we go by what's available to be purchased in a rolling 90 days on eBay. Hot damn.
There it is. And I still don't notice. Like I learned about this error yesterday. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then you showed me again today, and I forgot again. Like, it's so, for me, this is very subtle. You say it jumps out, but like, I don't catch it. I told Ryan, I'm like, do you see it? Because I was testing him. Because I know you've seen this error before. Right. But we see so many comics. We talk about so many. So I want to refresh your memory just like I want to refresh the communities. Hit the subscribe button. And I'm like joking. Oh, it's egregious. It's so hard to not see it. But then you look at it and you're like, wait, what's the error again? Dude, it's not a egregious error. It's very minor. It looks like it might even be intentional, but it is definitely an error.
Look at the top right portion of the header. Marvel Comics Group, you have the code. And then right next to the code, there is what should be, according to this header,
solid red.
Solid red. But this right here, there is a bit of yellow.
That's it.
That little bit of yellow right there.
That's an error.
That was a whoopsies. A whoopsies. Rumor is that
call it whoopsies instead of errors.
Yeah, it's rumored that once the printer noticed the error, they quickly corrected it and it just kept going. So we talked about how they like to do that sometimes. Comic Fam, what are your favorite errors? And you know what? Ryan put a list of his favorites. I got to the list a little late this week.
Right.
So next week, we're going to continue the list with 5 other astounding errors that you have to know when you're on the hunt. It's very important. But I want to know some of your favorites in the comment section below. I love me some errors, brother.
They're interesting.